In the headlines, tragedy strikes as jet drops bomb on Kaduna village during Maulud celebration. Army takes responsibility for airstrike. 5 bombed to death, 11 wounded in Akwa Ibom auto crash. Unical students protest 100% increase in school fees. On the foreign scene, Guinea-Bissau dissolves parliament after coup beat. Hello and welcome to Trust News Update. I am Abdurrahman Omar. Thanks for joining. And now the news in full. In Tudimbiri, a community within Igabi local government area of Kaduna State, many villagers are feared dead following a bomb allegedly dropped by a Nigerian Air Force jet during a Maulud celebration on Sunday around 9 p.m. Though details of the incident remain sketchy, preliminary reports suggest the loss of approximately 30 lives. Residents recount that the bomb struck while the villagers were gathered to commemorate Maulud in the village. In a related incident, the Nigerian Army has claimed responsibility for the bombing of villages during a Maulud Nabi celebration at Tudimbiri in Igabi local government area of Kaduna State. The Army, however, said the airstrikes were inadvertent, saying operatives were targeting terrorists. About 30 residents were found dead in the airstrikes on Sunday night. The Commissioner, Ministry of Internal Security and Home Affairs, Kaduna State, Samuel Arun, said in a statement on Monday that the Army has claimed responsibility for the unfortunate incident. Arun, in a statement, said at a meeting presided over by the Deputy Governor Hadiza Sabwa Balarabe, which had in attendance heads of security agencies, religious and traditional leaders. The Nigerian Army explained the circumstances which led to the unfortunate and unintended attack. He quoted the general officer commanding 1 Division Nigerian Army, Major Vu Okoro, as saying that the Nigerian Army was on a routine mission against terrorists but inadvertently affected members of the community. It further stated that the deputy governor at the end of the closed-door meeting conveyed condolences of the government and people of Kaduna State to the families that lost their loved ones. Earlier, we had Trust TV Bella Musa and he gave us an update.
What actually happened is that some villagers were observing Maulud, that is the birth of the Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, in the night. And there was this airstrike twice. Though the state government, through the overseeing commissioner of the Ministry of Internal Security, Samuel Arwan, this afternoon, brief media said that it was very unfortunate incident. It was sad incident. It was carried out by the military while carrying out operations within the area, because the area is a notorious area for banditry activities. Therefore, he said the situation was very sad and unfortunate, and appealing to people in the state to become that the state government is looking into the whole thing. This afternoon, we visited the Borodiko Teaching Hostel in Kaduna. We saw the victims who are receiving medical treatment at the hospital. We interviewed some of them. Some of them confirmed to us that it was airstrike twice, though they can't ascertain whether it is a NAF jet or otherwise, but they said that it was attack on them twice that killed about, one of them said about 80 people died during the strike. The people are calm. The district head of the local government said that they believe this is something that came from God, and they will still appeal to people to remain calm, that government is looking into the whole matter.
In a sad development, 5 persons have been confirmed dead and 11 others injured in a fatal auto crash along the Calabar-Itu Highway in Cross River State. The accident was between a Nissan Caravan with registration number GWB532XY and a Mack truck with no registration number. This was according to a statement issued by the sector commander of the Federal Road Safety Corps, Akwa Ibom Command, Matthew Olonisai. The statement signed by the Public Enlightenment Officer of the command, Paul James, attributed the cause of the accident to speeding, adding that the accident could have been avoided if the motorist had adhered to safety regulations. Meanwhile, a diesel tanker on Monday went up in flames at the Ojota Inward Interchange. The incident has been confirmed by the Lagos State Traffic Management Authority, LASMA, via X handle. LASMA stated that its personnel had been deployed to the scene. At the time of this report, the cause of the explosion as well as the level of casualty remains unknown. The Lagos State Fire and Rescue Service also confirmed the incident, noting that the flames had been brought under control. In another development, the House of Representatives has begun a town hall meeting with Nigerians to discuss the provisions of the 2024 appropriation bill presented by President Bola Tinubu. The meeting tagged Citizens Town Hall meeting on the 2024 budget and appropriation process was held in Abuja on Monday. It was organized by the House Committee on Appropriations and supported by the Policy and Legal Advocacy Center, PLAC, UK International Development and other development partners. Declaring the event open, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Abbas Tajuddin, said the meeting is relevant as it will help to deepen democratic governance and strengthen public financial management. He said the town hall provides a platform for direct engagement between legislators and citizens with focus on matters related to the national budget. He, however, lamented that due to the lack of awareness on the budgeting process and accountability, public trust has been eroded in many African countries, including Nigeria. Now, in another development, academic activities were halted at the University of Calabar on Monday following students' protest against the 100% hike in the institution's tuition fees. Earlier, the university had released a new schedule of fees that will take effect from the 2022 to 2023 and 2023 to 2024 academic sessions. The students who embarked on a peaceful protest to register their dissatisfaction barricaded the roads leading into the campus, preventing workers from coming in. The protest also caused a heavy traffic jam on the roads, compelling some motorists to make a U-turn. The protesters, who were no fewer than 100 in number, blocked the Mary Sleso and Eta Abo roads. Many of them clutched fresh leaves, while others displayed placards with different inscriptions. Some of the inscriptions read, "We came to school to study, not to kill our parents." The Vice-Chancellor of UNICEF went to school in her days, free of charge, but today wants to kill students with crazy charges, amongst others. In the meantime, Nigeria's tertiary institutions continue to face mounting challenges linked to a decline in the quality of education and productivity in the sub-sector. Manpower shortages and welfare-related issues are further compounding the already critical situation as stakeholders put the spotlight on the federal government while calling for a robust action plan to reform the system. Habibadajay reports.
Education remains a leading indicator of how well a country is growing and developing as Nigeria continues to play catch-up due to its falling education system. The current JAPA phenomenon has seen a surge in the numbers of Nigerian lecturers leaving the country in search of better pay and service conditions abroad. Labor-related concerns and gaps in effective management have seen Nigeria lose thousands of well-trained academics over the years.
It is no longer a news that there is a shortage, but let me put it, there is equally what I can call acute shortage. Yeah, and if the situation was not remedied in a quick time, it will get to a level that you'll be having programs that has students, and they will just discover one day they don't have any lecturer in that program.
The way manner government handled the last strike, in particular, every other strike, but particularly the last strike, actually outraged many of our colleagues. We felt and we still feel highly mistreated, shabbily treated, manhandled and so on.
Professor Umar Kari emphasizes the necessity for government's commitment and accountability while urging parents to take a leading role in advocating better service delivery as students ultimately face the repercussions of a failed system.
Parents should have to brace up. They are going to pay through their noses. Parents demonstrated unbelievable lack of understanding towards ASU and what ASU stands for. And now they are going to bear the brunt of it because right from the period that the strike collapsed, okay, that was about a year ago, okay, to now, fees charged by public universities have increased. Some have doubled, some tripled, and the thing will only get worse.
Year in, year out, we may likely be producing students that are not having the right skills to turn around the economy. Indirectly, the government just needs to understand the concept of investment in education.
The nexus between quality education and economic progress has been well established, and if Nigeria is to make significant progress in repositioning the trajectory of the most populous black nation in the world, the time for the action is long overdue. Habibat Ajayi, Trust TV News, Abuja.
This is Trust TV News Update. Coming up ahead. Vandals loot Oshobo Steel Rolling Company despite privatization in Ogun. Details of that and more after the break. Please stay with us.
Why did you develop this reputation as somebody who is difficult to work with?
I will tell the truth. No matter whose ox is born, I will say exactly how it is.
This is where I actually sympathize with commissioners of nowadays, where a commissioner sometimes is just a picture. You find somebody, even a cleaner and the governor's wife, can interfere with their abilities.
Even the ministers, there are very many who respected me simply because I never complained about them. I never went to ask for a favor. Never.
So none of that has happened?
Nothing.
But if it hasn't happened, do you have hope that now another government coming in?
There's no hope.
So you've given up on politics?
I've given up. It's gone, it's gone.
Retrenchment from work is the most hated thing by unions. It's loss of job means that is loss of life, in fact, for civil servants at that time.
Nigeria's economy, Nigeria's security, Nigeria's intelligence. This is what the materials we were handling. And I thought government would be very interested.
The reasons why you adopted federalism is not because of finesse, not because you like it. It's because of its functional utility.
What NAFDAC is doing is making sure we are safeguarding the health of the nation.
80 million people have been accounted for that have glaucoma worldwide.
The Nutrition Society of Nigeria is laying emphasis on exclusive breastfeeding of our babies.
The incidence of kidney disease in children has also been rising, with an estimated 1 in 10 Nigerian children affected.
And that sometimes those products contain things that could harm you more than you would expect. So you would have long-term damage which could affect your health over time.
Intermittent fasting indeed is beneficial.
This is Trust TV, documenting the Nigerian story.
Welcome back. If you are just joining us, this is the news update on Trust TV, and here is a recap of some of our top stories. Tragedy strikes as jet drops bomb on Kaduna village during Maulud celebration as army takes responsibility. And 5 burned to death, 11 wounded in Akwa Ibom auto crash. Now to other stories. Vandals have continued to loot the Oshobo Steel Rolling Company despite its privatization by the federal government. The Commissioner of Police in the state, Ishaq Mohammed said some of the vandals were apprehended with armored cables and other items looted from the company. Hamid Oibadi filed in to support.
After the privatization policy of the federal government, the hope of the people of Osun State was that the moribund steel rolling company in Oshobo will bounce back and contribute to the economic growth, especially by generating employment opportunities for the youths. But the hope was dashed as the company remains inactive several years after the privatization, with residents calling for a review of the policy. Meanwhile, funders are taking the advantage of the situation to loot the company.
Mo ní ọjọ́ Sátidé ní ìjẹta mo lọ kó ẹrù wáyà àti ilé ní ọ̀nà Ìkìrun ní aago 4 ìdájí. Ìgbà tí mo dẹ̀ ń bọ̀ mo pàdé àwọn ọlọ́pàá lọ́nà wọ́n dẹ̀ yìnbọn sí táyà mọ́tò mi.
The Commissioner of Police in the state, Ishaq Mohammed, said the suspects will be charged to court upon the completion of investigation.
Of course, they have accepted, they have confessed their offense. Investigation is ongoing. They mentioned some other people. We are on their trail and they will soon be arrested and charged to court.
The residents are hoping that the federal government will review the privatization policy and make the company function again. Hamid Oyegbade, Trust TV News, Oshobo.
A popular skit comedian and rising personality in the Nigerian entertainment space, Emmanuel Chukwuemeka, popularly known as Sabinus, the investor, has cautioned the youth against drugs and substance use, saying it caused lack of focus and derailment. Speaking with newsmen in Jos, the Plateau State capital, Sabinus said entertainers must be hard-working and consistent if they must excel and must know what works for them. Dixon Adama, who was there sending this report, as presented from our studio.
Sabinus was in Jos for the first time to feature in his fellow skit comedian's show, Funny G, titled Hit the Ground Running. He said drugs has become a problem among our youth for a very long time now, but people seems not to think it is a problem. According to him, substance use really go far to affect many of the youth, and that is why he cannot be a fan of smoking or alcohol. His father also instructed him strongly on this.
Smoking, all these things has been a very big problem to a very long extent, but people feel
it's not a problem. But me right here, I must say, it's a very big problem, because I've been to situations where I go out and I see young, vibrant youths, you know, they start taking things that are way beyond their limits. All these things has really gone far to affect many of them, you understand? Because right here, I'm not even a fan of smoking, I'm not a fan of alcohol, but I try to tell people that you need to be yourself. Because there's something I always say, even my father always tell me, it's better you are at alert when problem come than you not being at alert when a problem comes.
The Ikwere-speaking comedian from River State also said he is from a very poor family.
Always look back from where you're coming from. Always try to look back. I'm not from a rich family, you understand? And there was no time my dad had enough, you understand? But I always told myself that since he doesn't have, me I go get. You understand? So always know where you're coming from. Don't do more than your limits. If you know you can afford something of 100,000, do it. If you can't afford it, don't be pressured.
And that is what drives his quest for success and change of economic narrative, adding that different thing works for different people, and that what works for him to excel is his attitude of giving to church. On his part, Godwin Olechenu Oga, with the stage name Foniji, advised Nigerian youth to invest their talent in entertainment, because the industry is now a hidden money spawning venture in the country. He urged talented youth to venture into entertainment, adding that with diligent and persistent, they will have a breakthrough one day.
We put a plan together to promote entertainment on the plateau, especially because of the dynamic situation of the state. And we made sure we put every action together, crossed our T's and dot our I's, brought up everybody who was needed to be key players in the industry, to come and entertain people and help people reduce tension. And to the glory of God, it was a good success. The show was a success.
Both Sabinus and Foniji have promised to tighten and extend their collaboration, while Sabinus said he will be organizing a show in Jos next year, saying Jos is known to be the home of entertainment and has produced so many talents.
And now on the international scene, the president of Guinea-Bissau, Omar Mbalo, on Monday issued a decree dissolving the parliament after an attempted coup in the West African nation. Violence had erupted between members of the National Guard and special forces of the Presidential Guard on Thursday night in the capital, Bissau, leaving 2 people dead before the army ordered its forces back to barracks. Mbalo, who was in Dubai attending the COP28 climate conference, arrived back in Bissau on Saturday and announced that an attempted coup d'etat had prevented him from returning earlier. On Monday, he said there had been complicity between the National Guard and certain political interest within the state apparatus. The date of forthcoming legislative elections will be set at the opportune moment, in line with the Constitution, Mbalo said in a communique. Since gaining independence from Portugal in 1974, the country has seen a series of coups and coup attempts. Elected to a 5-year term in December 2019, Mbalo survived a bid to overthrow him in February 2022. And now finally on sports news, Nigeria's Super Eagles keeper Ahmed Musa has declared his readiness to play in the league again. The former CSKA Moscow of Russia played briefly for Kano Pillars last season before returning to Europe. His contract expired with the Turkish Super League club Sivasspor at the end of last season and is presently unattached. He said, taught on his social media handle, that is a product of the league and is ready to come back. And with that, we have come to the end of the Trust TV News Update. Do not forget to follow us across all our media platforms and our YouTube live stream for more news, programs, and documentary. I am Abdurrahman Omar. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.